What if the most frightening part of this story is not what happened, but how fast fear travels when facts are missing? In the last few moments, social media has been flooded with alarming claims that Soo Kai and Songyun were rushed to a hospital under emergency conditions. The words breaking news and emergency have spread faster than confirmation, sending shockwaves through fandoms and igniting panic across platforms. But before the story turns into certainty, one critical question hangs in the air. What do we actually know, and what are we assuming in the absence of verified truth? At the center of this sudden storm are two of the most beloved figures in Chinese entertainment. Soo Kai, whose rise from promising newcomer to leading man has been marked by relentless schedules and immense public pressure. Songyun, admired for her warmth, resilience, and emotional depth, a figure fans feel deeply protective over. When names like these are attached to the word hospital, fear does not wait for facts. It reacts. If you are still watching, subscribe. Let's get the story started as the world of your favorite celebrity unfolds. Stay tuned. The initial reports did not come from official statements. They did not originate from agencies, medical professionals, or verified news outlets. Instead, they appeared as fragments. Posts without sources. Messages citing unnamed insiders. Claims repeating one another without adding clarity. In the digital age, repetition can feel like confirmation, even when it is not. Within minutes, speculation took on a life of its own. Some claimed exhaustion. Others whispered accidents. A few escalated the narrative into worst-case scenarios, despite offering no evidence. Fans began revisiting recent appearances, searching for signs they might have missed. A tired smile, a quiet moment, a schedule that seemed too intense. Ordinary details were suddenly reinterpreted as warnings. This is how panic forms. Not from information, but from uncertainty. What is verifiable at this moment is limited. No official agency has confirmed that Soo Kai or Songyun were rushed to a hospital. No medical updates have been released. No statements acknowledging an emergency have been issued. And yet, the emotional response is already peaked because concern for artists we admire feels personal. It is important to understand why stories like this gain traction so quickly. Both actors are known for demanding work schedules, long filming hours, minimal rest, high emotional output. Fans are already aware of the physical and mental toll the industry can take. So when a rumor aligns with an existing fear, it feels plausible. Fear fills in the gaps left by silence. But silence does not equal disaster. In many past cases across the entertainment world, similar rumors have emerged during filming periods, travel days, or private medical checkups that were routine rather than critical. The word hospital alone does not define severity. Yet when paired with emergency, it becomes a trigger. The lack of immediate denial also fuels anxiety. Agencies often take time to verify details before speaking, especially when false reports spread rapidly. That delay, however normal, is often misread as confirmation. Fans, meanwhile, do what fans do best. They worry. They hope. They mobilize emotionally. Messages of support pour in. Fear is expressed not out of curiosity, but care. Still, responsibility matters. Until credible sources confirm details, any claim about hospitalization, injury, or medical emergency remains unverified. Turning unconfirmed reports into dramatic conclusions can cause unnecessary distress, not only to fans, but to the artists and their families. If Soo Kai and Songyun are receiving medical attention of any kind, the most respectful response is patience. Health is personal. Updates, when appropriate, should come from those authorized to share them, not from speculation echoing across timelines. And if the reports are unfounded, then this moment becomes a reminder of how quickly misinformation can masquerade as urgency, of how easily concern can turn into collective panic. Right now, the truth is still forming, or it may already be far less dramatic than the headlines suggest. Until clarity arrives, the most powerful action is restraint. Because sometimes the real emergency is not in a hospital room. It is in the speed at which fear outruns facts. As fans wait for official confirmation or reassurance, one thing remains clear. Soo Kai and Tan Songyun are deeply valued, and that concern is real. But so is the responsibility to protect truth, dignity, and common moments of uncertainty. This story does not need escalation. It needs verification. And until that arrives, the question remains open, steady, and unanswered. Was there truly an emergency? Or was this another moment where silence was mistaken for crisis? And as the minutes stretched on without confirmation, the atmosphere shifted from shock to suspense. The initial panic did not disappear. It transformed. Fear became vigilance. Fans stopped refreshing for rumors and began waiting for facts. Because when concern is real, it eventually demands truth, not noise. What made this moment especially volatile was the pairing of the names. Soo Kai and Tan Songyun together. Two stars whose on-screen chemistry and off-screen professionalism have long fueled admiration and emotional attachment. Seeing them linked in an alleged emergency amplified everything. The worry doubled. The imagination raced. But in the absence of verified information, another pattern emerged. The pattern of digital escalation. A single unverified post became a screenshot. The screenshot became a translated caption. The caption became a headline. Each step added urgency, not accuracy. Words like rushed and emergency hardened into assumed fact, even though no one could trace them back to an original, reliable source. This is the hidden danger of breaking news culture. Speed replaces scrutiny. Emotion replaces evidence. Industry observers began urging calm. Longtime fans reminded others that similar scares had happened before, only to dissolve once agencies clarified routine checkups, minor exhaustion, or completely unrelated situations. The entertainment industry, especially during intense filming schedules, often intersects with hospitals for reasons far less dramatic than the word emergency implies. And yet, fear lingered. Because Soo Kai has spoken before about physical strain. Because Tan Songyun has carried immense emotional weight throughout her career with quiet resilience. Fans know how much these artists give. And when people who give so much appear vulnerable, even hypothetically, the reaction is instinctive. Still, no official statement arrived. That silence became the final test of patience. Some interpreted it as confirmation that something serious was unfolding behind the scenes. Others recognized it for what it most likely was. Verification in progress. Internal coordination. A refusal to fuel panic with half-truths. It is worth remembering this. Medical matters are not press releases. Even when celebrities are involved, health updates are often delayed out of respect, privacy, and responsibility. Immediate disclosure is not owed. It is earned through accuracy. As time moved forward, another reality settled in. If something severe had truly occurred, credible outlets would have begun reporting with confirmation. Medical emergencies do not remain contained within anonymous posts for long. The absence of escalation from trusted sources began to speak louder than the rumor itself. The story, once framed as crisis, began to resemble something else. A cautionary moment. A moment showing how deeply fans care, but also how easily that care can be manipulated by unverified claims. How fear, when shared rapidly, becomes a collective experience regardless of truth. At its core, this was never just about a hospital. It was about trust. Trust in information. Trust in restraint. Trust that silence is not always a warning sign. As of now, the only responsible conclusion is this. There is no confirmed evidence that Soo Kai or Tan Songyun were rushed to a hospital under emergency conditions. Until agencies or reliable news sources state otherwise, the story remains unverified. And that distinction matters. Because real emergencies deserve clarity, not chaos. And false ones deserve correction, not amplification. The camera does not end on an alarm siren. It slows. It waits. On official words. On facts strong enough to stand on their own. On reassurance that does not need dramatization. Until then, the most powerful response is not fear, but patience. Not panic, but care. And the understanding that sometimes, The loudest breaking news is simply the sound of uncertainty echoing too fast to be questioned.